We're a school on the ascendancy. Our moment is now. You come to Darden for a catalytic experience that will transform you and set you up not just for the next job, but for the rest of your life.
Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Welcome to the Darden School of Business at the University of Virginia. We're going to talk about Launchpad 2026 with the new interim dean, Mike Lenox. Come join us. So Mike, you're 18 years old and you walk on this campus for the first time as an undergraduate student in engineering, and you've been at Darden for 17 years in various roles, and now you find yourself the interim dean. What's it like?
Yeah, I've spent more than a quarter of my life at the University of Virginia in various capacities. One of the reasons that I wanted to step into this role was the incredible momentum the school has. And if you've ever run a relay and passed the baton, you do that at a full sprint. You don't do that as a standstill. And I'm working very hard to make sure I can pass that baton on to the next dean at a full sprint as well.
Now, even though you're the interim dean, you've kind of launched a fairly aggressive agenda called Launchpad. Describe what it is.
What can we do over the next 12 months? There's three main components to it. One, being Darden, is a case. What would it take for us to be the best business school in the world? The second piece is a set of initiatives that we've launched in four broad buckets: MBA forward, AI forward, faculty forward, community forward. And then the last part is a campaign. So we just finished the most successful capital campaign in Darden's history. I view this as a bridge campaign. And so we're being very aggressive on fundraising to keep that momentum going for the school.
Now, Mike, there's been a lot of discussion in recent years about the value of the MBA degree. What's your take on that?
To paraphrase Mark Twain, the death of the MBA has been premature.
That's very true.
But what AI does very well is prediction. And there is this human capacity for judgment that is going to be even more valued in an AI-enabled world. What is judgment? It's dealing with uncertainty and ambiguity. How do you convince others of your viewpoint? How do you lead a team? How do you think about the moral and ethical implications of what you do? This is what Darden does, I would argue, better than any school in the world.
There's great fear about AI and what it will do to jobs, but there's also great opportunity. How will the nature of white-collar work change over the years?
I do not subscribe to the jobless future, but I do subscribe to the incredible step up in productivity. That might mean for a field like consulting that will need ultimately fewer consultants because each one is that much more productive when paired with an AI and partnering with an AI. For MBA programs, it means it's going to be even that much more competitive for jobs going on the market. And I think it's critical to be one of the most selective elite business schools, so we are an employer of choice amongst what is now going to be a smaller pool of talent seeking, whether it's consulting or technology companies or finance and the like.
What's the basic approach at Darden right now?
Yeah, this is one of the advantages of being kind of a pure case method course. What you're allowed to be able to do with that case discussion, especially the way we do it, is interrogate that use of AI. What we need to teach is not, here's the latest model of Claude. What we need to be teaching is how to learn. Technical skills will always be important, but now they're more foundational to these higher, what I'd like to call integrative skills of dealing with uncertainty and ambiguity, dealing with complexity, dealing with the human element of organizations and business life.
In a way, it's like doubling down on the soft skills.
Absolutely. We've actually had a generational turnover in our faculty. This new generation, they get it. They get the Darden way, what student-centered learning is. I like to say lecturing is dead. If you are just simply doing one-way transmission of information, put a video camera on it, watch it while you're on the treadmill, you should not be spending your dollars to sit in a classroom to have someone talking at you. That time is incredibly precious. We work very hard to create a learning environment, and especially our core curriculum, where you as students are jointly responsible for your education. You're responsible for the other students' learning. It creates a completely different environment that is actually more similar to high-performing organizations. I like to say humility is the ultimate manifestation of confidence.
Right.
I think in this day and age, we've misunderstood what confidence is. To me, confidence is letting others shine. Confidence is recognizing you don't know everything and you have something to learn from others. I think we try to cultivate that very strongly in our classroom environment and just our general community. And that's very rare, I would say, amongst MBA programs.
I think those are all the elements of a student-centered experience, right?
100%.
Now, in recent years, there's been tremendous growth in the DC metro area. You have a satellite campus there in Rosslyn. You started the part-time MBA program there, plus you have a host of executive ed programs. How does that play into the entire Darden strategy?
We talk about our home here in Charlottesville as our global headquarters. Our facility now in Rosslyn is our global gateway, the location of our federal government, the IMF, the World Bank, every country having their consulate there, every company having their government relations there. And on top of that, a vibrant tech community anchored by Amazon and others. It is a truly vibrant, unique environment.
So Mike, there are less than a handful of business schools that can be considered residential. And now you are putting the finishing touches on a residential facility where many of your MBA students right next door will be able to sleep and live and then come to class. Why is that important to the future of Darden?
We've transformed our Charlottesville grounds. As you know, we have the most high-end, prestigious executive education, lifelong learning hotel and conference facility. And now we're going to layer on top of that residential housing launching in summer of 2027. This is a really exciting time for Darden. It will be transformational to an already incredibly engaging community life that we have.
Totally. Mike, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure as well.